have with us actor, dancer, Dr. Lima Das. Limabah, welcome to Yoreh Studios presents Cinetre Talks Art on Stage.
Thank you, Hansita, and thank you, Yoreh Studios, for having me here today.
So, Limabah, you're a doctor, you're a dancer, you're a professor, you're an actor, you're a mother, you're a wife, you're a daughter. Keeping these roles aside, how would you like to describe yourself? Who is Lima Das?
Well, I always used to think of myself as like any other normal girl, any other, girl next door, which I am actually. It's all this hype that has been created around me. But I have always done things which I have wanted to. When I was young, I wanted to be a dancer. So I worked towards it. Then I wanted to be a doctor. I worked towards that. And then I wanted to get married, be a wife and a mother and an actor, lately, and a teacher. So I think all these things, you are made up not just by one thing, but you're also, made up many things which, make up your personality. And I think that is true not just for me, but for everybody. By the time you reach a particular age, you have had so many experiences in life, and you have gone through so many experiences, and you've done so many things, and you've gone through phases in life which actually make up the you, which right. People know you that way. So yeah, that is me.
Thank you for letting us know from your own perspective about yourself. Can we know a little about your childhood days, your growing up years?
Well, I am someone who has been based in Guwahati all my life. I was born in Guwahati, I was raised in Guwahati, my school, my college, and I got married in Arunachal, but now I work here. I'm also, I'm settled here. So, I did my schooling from St. Mary's English High School, and then I went to Cotton College. I did my class 12 from there. And then I went to Regional Dental College because I wanted to pursue dentistry. Mm-hmm. And that was the thing. I wanted to be a doctor, but also wanted, to continue my art. So I thought that, if I do dentistry, then that would I would have things more in my control. So yeah, that's how it went. And then I wanted to do my masters. That was also here. So I've been here most of my life, but I've had the opportunity to travel because of my dance and because of many other things. So yeah, that's about it, my childhood and my journey till now.
Can you just share with us any memory which has stayed with you from your childhood?
Most of my childhood memories are related to dance. Because I remember the very first day of dance, that was my first day, and that was also the first day of the Dance Institute. Okay. We were the first batch. And I remember it was near my place in Rajgarh, and I would just cross the road, and it was just walking distance. And I have a vivid memory of my teacher, Sangeeta Hazarika. I have a vivid memory of her looking down from the balcony, and that was the first glimpse of her. And now I don't know how that thing stuck into my head, and I just thought that this woman is so beautiful. I was 8 years old then, but that first look, we connected immediately, and I just felt so much at home with her, and she was such a wonderful teacher. And so patient, which is very important when you're learning classical dance. Classical dance is a lot of vigorous training, and it requires a lot of patience on the part of the teacher and on the part of the student as well. Mm-hmm. So if you have a teacher who's loving and kind, I was lucky to have her. So, and we were special because we were her first batch. You always have a thing for your first students. Mm-hmm. So from that time, my journey, I always say this in my interviews, you look forward to Wednesdays and Saturdays, because those were the days we used to have classes. So I would, when is Wednesday coming, or when is Saturday coming? And I really used to enjoy those classes. I remember she used to teach me 2 or 3 steps more than my colleagues, because I was so much into it. I was almost being pushy and to teach me the next few steps. And yes, that was a beautiful journey. Like I always tell youngsters to learn classical dance first. If you have the passion for dance, you can learn the other forms later, but you have a classical base, all the other forms so much easier. So, and something that is ours, that is in our tradition, I think it is very important for us to know where our roots come from. And I am very lucky because I had parents who supported me. My mother is a singer, so we have that environment at home. And I feel very sorry for her because she used to be the one, you used to do the commuting with me. She used to take me to dance classes because later shifted to some other place. And but I just feel that I hope that she thinks it's all worth it. So yeah, I'm lucky to have parents who supported me, and my sisters, and the whole family was there. They liked the fact that I took up classical dance, because I was the only dancer in the family at that point of time. My sisters were into sports and music and other things, but suddenly, because my mom is a singer, she thought I would also eventually get into music. I did, but then dance has always been my first love and it has been my passion till now. And I would want to be known as a dancer first more than anything else.
Like when you shared about your mother, it just reminded me of my days when I used to go for my classes. I used to learn Bharatanatyam. I joined Bharatanatyam classes when I was 3. My mother used to take me. She was the one taking me.
Yes, of course. You always, these things don't happen just like that. You have to have parents who understand the need of your child to have this kind of a training, a traditional, to learn a traditional art form, be it music, be it dance. In that point of time, the role of the family, the parent that comes in, and these things don't happen on their own. You need parents, you need a background. And you need people who understand the value of these traditions.
Parents, they become a huge, great factor to push you, to take you.
Yes, at one point of time, they are the only factor actually. Apart from your interest in the art form, they play a major role.
They help to inculcate the interest.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Any memories with your sisters at house?
Yes, a lot of them actually. If you look at the old photographs, I was a kid sister of the family. I have 3 sisters who are elder to me. I was the youngest. I am the youngest, and yeah, it's good to have sisters because you learn a lot from them. They whatever phase of life you go through, they've already been through that, and you see and you learn a lot of things. So I am very happy and I'm very lucky to have 3 sisters who've always been very supportive.
It's good to know that. How did dentistry happen to you, or when did you think that you should get into dentistry or the medical science world?
Well, my father was a doctor, and being a doctor, I mean, we all of us, we used to look up to him because he was so dedicated, in what he did. And surgery, and he was an ENT surgeon. That was so much a part of our dining table discussions about the whole family. We used to go out on evening rides, and then we used to, I remember he would park the car in Guwahati Medical College and do his rounds, and again we used to be back. So that was part of our lives. We didn't think that that's a different thing. It's like that's the way to go. You become a doctor at some point of time. Like we didn't. And plus, when we were young, there weren't too many options. You had to go for engineering or you go for medicine. But my sister had advised me that if you want to keep your art alive, because medical is such a tough profession and it requires you to give more time to it. So might as well do dentistry, because even if you don't get into a job, you can have your own small clinic and you can have your timings according to. So yeah, that's when I thought that that makes more sense to me. And I always wanted to be a doctor, so I worked towards it. I'm so happy it happened.
Any touching story from your college days or your dentistry days?
Well, I was a very introvert person. I still am in a way. And But yeah, I just thought that this is what life was always about what I wanted to do next. And I thought if I studied well now, then next I would go for my post graduation. I did my post graduation, then I would go, have a proper clinic of my own. So it was very focused, very academically, inclined, whatever I did. But dance was always there. Some kind of art was always there. I always tried to find time, out, and my teachers were very encouraging, and so those were the balance. It's not one memory as such, but we used to go on these dance tours as well. So yes, and obviously many of us, they call the college functions, and all those things, very little memories. Nothing I can remember right now.
So, how did Aamis happen to you? How did the role of Nirmali happen to you?
How did the role? Yeah, I mean, the director Bhaskar Hazarika, he's a family friend, and he approached me for the role. But I just met him randomly at some film festival, and then I said that I'm interested in Hattriya. I want to make a documentary on Hattriya, and then we talked a lot about films and like these documentaries, and suddenly he said I have a script. Very casually he said I have a script. If you want to have a look at it, if you want to read it. And then I read it, and probably I used to post these photographs of my dance performances, and probably thought that she can emote in whatever way, because he was also looking for a fresh face. Both the male and the female, Sumon and Nirmali, was looking for fresh faces. So probably he thought that he had this gut feeling that these two can, me and Orgho can, fit into this role. So it was I just feel that it was plain luck that I got into it. But once I did, I thought that since I've got this opportunity, I tried to make the most of it. And we had this 10-day workshop with Seema Biswas. And that workshop really helped, because that is the time when I got to know the difference between performing on stage and in front of the camera. So that was a very fruitful workshop, and I think that made me prepare for Aamis as a role. And as far as the script is concerned, the script was beautifully written. There was when my husband supported me a lot, and that really encouraged me, because I used to randomly tell him I wish I could do one film. Somehow I see myself with a bindi and somehow I see myself in one of those art kind of films. I don't know where that came from, but maybe Sixth Sense or something, but I just thought that maybe someday I would do one film. That thing came, but that was a very, vague kind of impression on my mind. But I know somehow it happened. Maybe it had to happen, and it just happened. And I'm glad it did.
Like you mentioned about the camera part, how it was different from performing on stage. Like, we always, I'm learning now that camera catches everything.
Absolutely, yes. I remember Seema Baidu had once said that when you emote in front of the camera, you have to be very natural, because when you emote on stage, you have to think about the audience, which is like a very, it's a hall, and you have to think about the person in the last row, knowing what you're talking about, except cut off the music, cut off everything else. They should know from your body language, from your expression, that what kind of emotion you're trying to portray. So that has to be magnified 200 times, when you're on stage, your body language, everything. But when you're emoting in front of the camera, you have to see the frame. You have to see if it's a very tight shot. Then it's just feeling that emotion is enough, that the camera, that the camera will recognize. So those little technical things which Seema Baidu taught us, I think that really helped. And I just feel that even on stage, I do not believe in, too overtly doing something, emoting too much, because I feel that the audience today is very intelligent, and it's when you're on stage, you're not the only person who's trying to convey something. There is the script, there is the music, there is the light, everything will speak, and you're a part of it. You have to be a part of it without, being, without going overboard. So, yes, those are the, kind of small technical things that Seema Baidu taught us. And like I said, that really helped me during Aamis. All of us, actually.
Any memories or from your shooting days for Aamis?
Memories, yeah. I usually talk about these things. Those little things before the shot, which it's when you're acting in a film, it's like the director won't tell you what to do. He'll just tell you that this is what I want. This is the message that has to be conveyed through this. The script is there, but nobody tells you what to do, how to do it. That's up to the actor. That's when the role of the actor comes in. And there's a lot of brainstorming that happens at that point of time, because Nirmali was a character which it's a very subtle kind of a character, and yet there's a lot of many things going inside her mind which needed to be portrayed in a very subtle way. So how to go about it, what to do, you get very little amount of time. You just get around 5 to 7 minutes. That's it. The cameraman is not going to wait there forever. There are so many other things. The camera focus is there, the sound is there, and there's a very little time you get to quickly think about what you're going to do. So there was this there's so many actually. There was I've talked about these in other interviews as well. When I was tasting the meat, Nirmali was tasting the meat for the first time, and like the ecstasy, yet that so much had to be conveyed, and it was a very tight shot, and that was very late at night. So it's a very surreal kind of feeling. So many, because Aamis for me was a learning experience, because I had never had to face the camera before. So, I could write a book about all my experiences. But yes, each day was a learning experience. And like I said, I'm very, very thankful that Aamis happened to me.
Like you had already mentioned that Bhaskar Hazarika is a family friend of yours. But how was your experience working with him? Like, he's the director.
Absolutely. I mean, it's an experience to remember for a lifetime, because he's very clear in his thought. I mean, he knows exactly what he wants, and it's never cliche. Whatever he thinks is never cliche. It's something very original. You think that he's going to ask you to do this, but he doesn't. His thought is something different. I mean, it's very difficult to predict. But that's how we learn, right? Because what you predict is something which you already know. But what Bhaskar comes up with every time, it always surprises you. So that I think that is a very, very big thing for a newcomer. To have, like, every day for that was a learning experience, and that was a very beautiful thing that happened in Aamis. I mean, that was, you feel that you have matured, you have evolved as an artist when you get that kind of experience in life. Yeah, thanks to him.
You have also worked in a video song,
Jaja Bori. That's a Rishi Bora's song that was also there in Aamis. So Rishi Bora came up with this thing that he wanted to do this, and before the release of Aamis. Ultimately, it was released after the release of Aamis. But that was also a good experience. I got to meet Orgha once again on set, and Kadambari was the director. She is the director and she is also a very, very talented young girl. And it's wonderful to, because Bhaskar is senior to me, but it was, it was a very nice experience working with somebody who was younger to you, directing you. And because I believe that nowadays these young group of directors that have come up, they have such brilliant ideas in their heads, such original ideas. And it was, Kadambari is one of them. She's a very promising director. I keep telling her that. So yeah, it was a wonderful experience. I really liked it. We shot part of it in Bombay. I was there in Bombay. She said, I'd like to take a few shots if you're there already. She was also there. So yeah, it was a wonderful experience.
The short film that you have worked in, Arranged, it was released during the COVID times.
Yes, it was. That was because I was starving for work at that point of time, because after Aamis was shot in 2018. Yeah. I think Arranged came out in 2020.
Yeah,
20. Yeah, so 21. And then there was this period of 2 years I wasn't doing much. But then because of the COVID situation. But Samujjwal, I had seen his work in Abhishruti's videos, I have always wondered that who's this director. I really like the frames which he has, it was, I just, randomly thought he's actually my neighbor. So when there's this boy called Harsh Siddhanta, he's also part of the film. He played the character of Chaudhary. So he approached me with this script, that I have a script for you, man. Would you like to read it? I said, yeah. When I read the script, I just saw myself. Like I saw myself in Nirmali. I saw myself in Jurima as well. And I said, yeah, we can do it. But how are we going to do it? Because these are COVID times.
Yeah.
Then he said, ma'am, we'll do the rehearsal online. Oh. So yeah, we did it on Zoom. And then suddenly we are on set. We just met each other for 3 days, and then we shot. And then it happened. I mean, that was possible. We realized. So yes, Arranged was it's a short film. The good thing about short films is that it just takes 2 days of shoot, and then you come up with something creative.
Yeah.
So that was very enjoyable, not too much of stress, and then we thought that we saw the YouTube comments and people were asking for Arranged 2. So now we have come up with Arranged 2, which is going to be released in November, by the end of November. So yes, I hope everybody watches our film, and I hope they like it too. It's like a sequel. It's called Arranged 2. So let's hope.
We would love to watch it, and good luck for that release.
Thank you so much.
So you're busy throughout the week. You have a son, but when you're free, or when you have some time free from your busy schedule, what kind of movies, or your favorite movie that you'd like to watch or you watch?
These days I'm just watching movies that have good performances so that I get to learn. So yeah, I just get recommendations from my friends. I ask my friends what if they've seen something interesting and that would be good for me, and as an actor. So there are no favorite movies as such. I can't name them, but Meryl Streep is one of my favorite actors. So so that's how, and that's how I spend my time. And of course, now I have a new passion, gardening. So gardening is also part of it. It takes most of my time these days, but I'm enjoying it.
So your favorite genre of films that you like to watch?
Well, I wouldn't say favorite genre. I watch all kind of films. I never used to watch too many films.
Okay.
Actually, come to talk about with them watching films, but then now I do it as part of something which I need to do because I'm in this field, so I just feel that. But I don't have a favorite genre. But I like watching dramas.
So you said you're coming up with Arranged 2. Are there any more upcoming projects that you're working on?
Yes, actually, we had worked on a few more projects. Like there's this film called Emuthi Puthi. It's written by Bhaskar Hazarika and directed by Gulanandini Mohanto. It's a debut direction. She is the DOP, assistant DOP of Aamis. So she's also a young girl, and it was nice working with her. And that is going to be released hopefully early next year. And we are hoping that will bring the crowds back to the cinema hall. It's a fun film, it's from the comedy genre. So yeah, we are looking forward to that, and I'm sure people are going to love that film, and people are going to dance to that film. we guarantee that.
We would eagerly wait for that.
And I was also part of an anthology which was directed by Bhaskar Hazarika, written and directed. It was produced by Soham Shah Films, directors of Tomar. So that was also an experience, because that's a different, the production is from Bollywood, and that is, I really enjoyed it, because that my character there was something very different from what I played in Arranged and what I played in Nirmali. So it's basically like my character is like that of a village woman. So that was interesting. I wanted to play something different. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I did Tomar Opekkhyat with Kenny D Basumatary. Kenny is a wonderful person. He's so funny on set. He is like his films, lot of fun we had. And he's a very nice guy. So Tomar Opekkhyat, and I also did a fashion film again with Kadambari. That is also going to come up probably in December, first week around December hopefully. So I'm just trying to do random things which keep me busy. It's very difficult for me to commit to bigger projects because I have a job. Yeah. So it's usually these Saturdays, Sundays which work for me, or during my holidays. So that's how it is as of now. So let's see what happens.
As many things are coming up, and we are also eager to watch your new work.
Yes, I'm looking forward to, and I'm also looking forward to more projects in the future. I just hope I continue to practice my art, because only when you have a project in your hand, that's an opportunity to think about, to you have to practice your craft, and that's how it gets better. So I think these short films for me are also very, very, I take them seriously and I look forward to them as an exercise, and also they are very interesting plots which people come up with these days. So yeah, hopefully.
I would like to wish you all the luck for all your upcoming projects.
Thank you so much. And yes, it was lovely being here. And I just wish that Yoreh Studios continue to do more work on documentaries, because I believe they are doing a lot on documentaries, and I just wish them good luck so that they come up with beautiful work.
Any actor or an artist that you look up to as your inspiration?
I look up to a lot of people. I look for inspiration even in a young girl, in a tiny girl, because I just believe in my guru, Padma Shri Jatin Goswami sir. He always said that you can gather inspiration from anything, and even if it's a little girl or a little boy. If you really, what you need is observation, the patience to observe people and observe things, because nature is full of things you can get inspired by. So I draw inspiration from almost everything. I just look for things, I just look for people I can be inspired. That adds on to my creative side. And it's wonderful. Actually, this whole journey is wonderful of being an artist. So yeah, I can't name one, because I recently saw this film by Saurav Pasha, is a new director, where Kumar Bhattacharya, the veteran actor, he played a part. He played the lead, and that was just 2 days back. I feel that he's my inspiration now, because if he's acting at 85, I would also like to have a role like that when I'm 85. Fingers crossed. So yeah, I draw inspiration from everyone and everything, and I seek inspiration from everything.
Any 3 films that you would like to recommend our viewers to watch?
Can I not answer this question? Well, I don't know, because I don't remember films. Somehow they are just there. I just remember certain scenes, and so I don't even remember the names of films. But if I tell me this, I remember Meryl Streep's face in this film. I remember Helen Mirren in this film. I just remember, they just come. I'm a very visual person. I just remember frames, and I just remember people's faces and how they emote. That gets stuck in my head. So let me not name films, but I think it's best to watch a wide range of films, different genres, and then because I don't have a favorite film, or I can't name 3 favorite films, and I don't want to impose them on people. So yeah.
Limabah, we have almost come towards the end of our interview. Before we end this interview, a message that you would like to give away to our viewers?
You just have to, you need to follow your dream. That is what I believe at this point of my life. It doesn't matter what people think. It really doesn't matter what people think. It really shouldn't live life for somebody else. It's your life, it's your journey. Unless you're hurting somebody, then you should just go follow your dream, because otherwise you're going to regret it. Because if you're not doing something which you love, you're just wasting your time.
It was great having you in our show, Limabah. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.